Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are in the second series of the night, and it is Impenetrable Hill going up against We Left School for this. If you missed the first series, well, make sure you go back and check them VODs. It was Twisted Vision going up against Crimson Academy, and it was a game for the ages. Regardless, it's all about these two teams now. Impenetrable Hill taking map number 1, Tomb of the Spider Queen, over We Left School for this. And I tell you what, I cannot wait to see what this next game brings on Towers of Doom. My name is Kit Fox, and will the real Slim Evan please stand up?
Oh, no. Oh, you'd stop reading Twitch chat, dude. That's if only. I'm excited. Tomb of Spider Queen, your favorite map for game 1. Towers of Doom is my favorite competitive map. We have, even in open division this year, we saw some absolutely incredible games go down. I think the one that brings to mind is UA Rainier here played an incredible, I think it was in the last week at Towers of Doom. And I'm excited to see how these two teams go up against
each other? Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Cannot wait. It is going to be Impenetrable Hill on blue going up against We Left School for this on Team Red. And We Left School for this have actually got a little ways to go. It must be said, LG dropping 88 gems all over the floor in the later stages of that game. It doesn't look good when you've got that many, enough for almost 2 complete turn-ins just sitting in your back pocket, and they just litter the ground. Regardless, there'll be none of that this time. We are going to Towers of Doom, and I like the versatility of the maps we've seen so far tonight. Usually in Premier Division, it's the same three or so maps, but this time we've had a complete variety of maps. Now, Towers of Doom is one of those ones that can go long, or it can go very, very shortly, depending on how well you can take the altars, of course. But again, this game is going to be one to watch, ladies and gents. Impenetrable Hill, 1 game up. If they take this map, they will succeed in defeating We Left School for this completely. Yes, it's a show match, but hey, there's a lot to play for, you wish.
Yeah, there's a lot of pride, and it's that all teams involved tonight. They're doing a fantastic job, regardless of the results. They've at least been providing us with some entertaining Heroes of the Storm and some competitive Heroes of the Storm. It's all competitive. We haven't seen a lot of cheese or anything. No one's been memeing it out, which is it's good to see. They're giving it their all, which is what we like.
That's it. Mayev's going to be the first ban for Impenetrable Hill, so not really a surprise there. As well as We Left School for this, they're going to take away Genji, and we saw a bit of Genji in the first match, but didn't really have as much of an impact because Crimson Academy were able to just basically draft around it. It was a very aggressive pick from Twisted Vision to start things off, but regardless, you can't discount the way they were able to play, and the respect band coming out from We Left School for this. They're going to remove Tracer, and Hill caused all sorts of problems for them last game.
Yeah, for sure. And she can be such a harasser on Towers of Doom as well. The constant, duck in and ducking out with the blinks and the recall, delaying those towers and the altar caps for a very long period of time. So, really, really good bans. And obviously, like you said, Hill did a fantastic job with his rotations, helping out Zagara in the bottom lane, pushing Orgy back. So they just don't want to deal with it this game.
Pablo, I like that from We Left School for this. Again, we saw a lot of that in the first series, and that lightning breath is extremely strong. I was surprised that they didn't take the extended lightning breath at level 20, instead opting for the Hellgate. Doesn't matter. It's map specific, it's game specific, it's reactive as well. So Whitemane going to be locked in for Impenetrable Hill on Team Blue. And look, we saw the W build coming out from Whitemane last time. It was all about that Inquisition, and probably there was a couple people in Twitch chat saying why not Q? But hey, if it works, it works.
Well, that's it. And interesting picks coming out of Impenetrable Hill now for our second round. Samuro Alarak. That is something that's a little bit different.
Samuro, we saw that again in the first game. I keep throwing back to that, but it's very similar in terms of bans and picks, and we saw what Coffee can do on that. If you watch any of the Premier Division, you'll know what a threat Xyliance is on Samuro as well as the Maev, and I think he's just sort of inspired a few players to sort of pick it up and be like, hey, you know what? Anything you can do, I could potentially do better. let's give it a crack. But Alarak as well, I like that from Impenetrable Hill. A good Alarak is so easy on the eyes to watch, but a bad one, you definitely notice him, you wish.
Yes, you do, which is why I never play Alarak. And I was going to say a Zeratul Dahaka. Now that's different. I was going to say we were going to predict the Urel, because Urel has made it all the way through the ban, but it looks like we're going to assume that they're probably not going to draft it on Impenetrable Hill, but they go as Sonya. I'm going to stop talking at this point because I am confused.
Yeah, I mean, the number one damage dealer that you've got there is going to be the Alarak, and with Towers of Doom, it's, you know, there's not a lot going on in terms of camp pressure. So it's interesting to see these guys lock in Sonya and Stitches. Maybe that was just a bit of respect to Tanner's Stitches. I mean, definitely the standout player. Definitely the standout player for them on We Left School for this. That helping hand in the later stages of the game to save LG from certain death was absolutely on point. Now, Geezer's putting the Gul'dan away and is actually going to pull out Junkrat. Now, I like this because Junkrat is able to poke down anybody who's trying to take those altars from a safe distance. So I like the stall game that they've got here. It's just going to come down to, in terms of, are they going to be able to capitalize on the zone that Diablo and Dahaka are going to be able to create here? So you wish, if you were a betting man, who would you be throwing your shekels down behind?
Oh, it's a hard one. It's Impenetrable Hill. That draft is so incredibly unusual. I mean, it's not technically what we'd call it's not cheese by any means, but it's just very, very different. So I'm just really unsure about how they're going to work out. It's a little bit more used, but then even there's a little bit different on We Left School for this. I mean, going the Dahaka and a Zeratul we've seen a little bit lately. We Left School for this ran Zeratul in the open division, but as the solo laner Roma type scenario. So yeah, I'm really, really not sure. Be a hard one, I'll be honest. These drafts, they threw me once or twice in open division, and they've definitely thrown me with this draft now.
Yeah, well, it's interesting, never to say the least, but I mean, look, it's doable. It's very frontline heavy. There's not a lot. There's actually no blinds on the side of We Left School for this, so it could work for Impenetrable Hill. Hey, we'll only have to wait and see, but ladies and gents, on blue it is Impenetrable Hill. Krazo is on Sonya, AT on Samuro, Spazzo on Alarak, Hill on Stitches, and Koality on Whitemane.
And on the red side, we got Tanner, this time playing the Zeratul, Jester picking up the main tank role on that Diablo, Helium on this Decade, all G again on that Dahaka, and Geezer playing his Junkrat.
And in the mid lane, We Left School for this are playing very, very defensively. It's all Impenetrable Hill at the moment, and they do not want a bar of any sort of fight in the mid lane at all. But you can see Tanner there on the Zeratul, just spots the rotation coming down from Impenetrable Hill, and Geezer sees that, jukes out the hook from Hill like it's absolutely nobody's business, and will be able to retreat here. So already Impenetrable Hill trying to flex their muscles with this composition that they have.
Yeah, and We Left School for this, just opting to, go straight for that experience. They straight to the top lane, straight to the bottom lane. Interesting there. AT doing a good job with that Samuro, just putting that pressure with those clones. And, they're doing these rotations. Impenetrable Hill rotating very nicely from mid to bottom, that pressure on by keeping the 4-man in that rotation. Interesting to see what they can pull off. They can, they comes out, they catch someone in that. That's big.
Sonya will be absolutely brutal as soon as level 10 is hit as well. I wouldn't actually be surprised if we saw a leap, considering you've already got that Stitches just to close the distance. And looks like we're going to have a slam build Stitches potentially.
Yeah, so that's a little bit more normal. Typical slam builds, what we normally see. Sometimes you might see a little bit of difference in the this level one, but providing that damage, the Stitches, you go something like the slam build, he can do a fair chunk of damage himself. So I'm going a slightly different build to what We Left School for this had in the last game. Yeah,
at the later stages of the game, if you go the slam build, you can actually follow up on your own gorges. Now in comes LG, gets the drag off onto Koality. It looks like the Sapper camp for We Left School for this is going to be the battlefield of choice. Scroll of Sealing comes across, will actually collect 2 members, but that will force Jester off, and We Left School for this. They lose their first Sapper camp over to Impenetrable Hill. Yes, well, actually, We Left School for this. They lose the Dahaka. They're going to lose Junkrat as well. And that is a big 1-2 punch. Quality actually picking up both of those kills on the white main there for Impenetrable Hill, and it is going to be yet again another Inquisition build.
And it's worth noting too, Sonya is still in that top lane, so Impenetrable Hill won that 4 vs 5. You know, they got those couple of kills. They managed to get that Sapper camp as well. So, you know, very well played by them, even though they were a man down. And just Krazo's just going to do what he wants to do up in the top lane and provide that pressure up in there onto that altar up there.
It looks as though the top 2 altars are going to fall over to their relevant teams. Or Krazo, though, sees LG and forces him off the altar. So the first shot's going to go away to Impenetrable Hill. They take their top left one, no problem at all. Meanwhile, down in the bottom lane, it is Spazzo going up against... Oh, big double Discord strike, but is way out of position and should get taken down pretty quickly. Jester actually can't catch him there. Oh, concussion mine for good measure. Secures the kill there, so good staggering. Let's just say that in the end there, getting the kill there for a We Left School for this. The flip coming out from Jester here. Good shadow charge into the wall, and now body blocking Stitches, but Whitemane is just keeping him alive, and that's all you need to do as the Diablo, create that zoning effect. Meanwhile, back over to the top right-hand corner of the map, We Left School for this are trying so hard to get in there. Oh, Tanner just pulls the trigger at the wrong time and almost pays for it with his life. That will be the tower going over to Impenetrable Hill, but hang on, in comes Jester. Oh, bite my tongue there. AT taking a lot of damage. In comes Giza, and that is the power of Junkrat, just able to poke them down with that frag launcher. AT trying to get one heal from the back seats. Tries to throw out the hook, just narrowly misses his opponent there. Down, picked up, no surprise there. Oh, big flip and charge coming out, and Krazo trying to create that safe space will get taken down. Meanwhile, 4v4 up there as LG just goes up, drinks deep of the sippy cup, and will rejoin the fight regardless. He did his job, and We Left School for this. Take a slight early lead.
Yeah, 4.5 minutes. I'm not quite sure I've ever seen. Oh, and Tanner ends up going down. They don't get that kill on Corality. That was for the first altar phase. That fight went for a very long time.
It did. Normally you see the top 2 altars go over to the respective teams, and it's the bottom one that is, you know, the battlefield of choice. That way, that time it was not to be. It was in fact the top right. Regardless, we had our bust up, we had our punch on, a slight level EXP lead, going over to Impenetrable Hill. And I like the lightning build coming out here from Spazzo as well, expending the sadism where he can. Probably going to pick up Rider Rakshir a little bit later on as well. Meanwhile, again, the Sappers for We Left School for this is going to be the battlefield. Yet again, speaking of Sappers, Impenetrable Hill get their own marching down. Hill is, well, in a good position, and OG deep as well. So good place from both of the tanks here. Going onto the back line, pushing everybody back. Tanner's going to retreat and pick up the Sappers for We Left School for this. Hill just had tunnel vision on the kill there. Scroll of Sealing comes across, will collect him. Stitches gets away with 200 HP. The frag launcher just misses on securing the kill. Jester extremely low as well, walking on those healing potions, drinking deep, but will get taken down. In fact, the tanks take each other out there, and I would say Impenetrable Hill won that fight because, well, they trade up 2 kills apiece, but Impenetrable Hill got Diablo with his souls there. So that is a big turning point.
Yeah, that fight just was going backwards and forwards. No one wanted to give up any ground, and everyone kind of just limped away at the end. But yeah, you're right. The Diablo, you know, had his souls already, which is actually really nice and quickly. A few minutes into the game, it's a lot easier for him to get his souls than it used to be with his little bit of a rework, and he's going into that W build, so he's getting all that extra from that fire. But they're doing a fantastic job getting the kill on AT now and just keeping this pressure up. This is a spicy game, kid.
It is still anybody's. It's 5 kills apiece. And at the moment, it's We Left School for this with the advantage, with 36 hit points left on their core. Meanwhile, 28 on the side of Impenetrable Hill. We could, well, I don't want to jinx it, you wish, but we could be going over to a game 3. Just hit, oh, Spazzo misses his telekinesis and is going to get absolutely munched in the mid lane. Oh, he'll be wishing he had that one back. It was probably not the best clicking, a little bit of panic setting in there on the Alarak.
Yeah, just a fantastic job getting that rotation out from We Left School for this, just catching him, like you said, off the go, and then Geezer with a fantastic mind, just popping him over to the We Left School for this, able to get that kill on him. It's, both teams about to hit level 10. We're pretty even. I mean, Tales of Doom's got a fantastic ability to. It's really not over until those last shots of the core. We've seen some teams come back from incredible amounts behind, but We Left School for this getting a little bit of an early lead, an early bit of a setup, which they'll be taking some comfort in at the moment.
Souls to the Flame being picked up from Diablo as well, and if Jester's going to be going as aggressive as he is, he'll be looking to proc that off as much as possible. Krazo again, duking it out with Tanner, and makes the smart move to not walk on top of the concussion mine. As we get into the next altar, it's 10 seconds away, and this one, with both teams hitting level 10, this is where the game is. This is where we can really see where the game is going to go from here. Whoever wins this fight will have the advantage. I mean, there is so much coming up. It is Wrath of the Berserker coming out from Sonya as opposed to Leap, as well as Counter-Strike coming out for Alarak. Tanner, though, with that Void Prison, actually collects two. Oh, wow, Diablo charging them back in there. Stay a while and listen. Comes across. It collects 3 members, but Zeratul has been taken down. We Left School for this. They lose 2 members now. They've lost their assassin, lost their healer, lost one of their main tanks as well. And here come Impenetrable Hill, that level 10 power spike, getting it done. Alarak utilizing the Counter-Strike, doing chunks of damage all over We Left School for this, and that will be a relatively easy altar as Stitches gets taken down in the aftermath of that fight as well.
Yeah, it did. Fantastic job. As we've got the replay
all greed
coming up.
It was all greed. There's a Counter-Strike again coming out. This time it connects the Diablo, who goes straight into the Lightning Breath. The 2 Protoss just juking it out here. The Tal'Darim and the Nerazim. There it is, Spazzo with the big telekinesis Discord Strike, securing the kill for the team Impenetrable Hill. Jester on the Diablo is doing a good job of being a frontline aggressor. Does have the souls up and available now. But Impenetrable Hill, they are still in this. They get the altar. Granted, it was only 1, but now they're only 1 altar behind. There's a hook coming out there this time from Hill. It's going to collect Jester, and they're just trading blows up here. Impenetrable Hill looking spicy, you wish, and now Helium is in the firing line. The Stay a While and Listen collects 4, but it's not enough.
No, they're just Impenetrable Hill really punishing We Left School for this. Tanner's getting caught out just a couple of times, trying to get into that backline on that Zeratul, and they're really just turning it around on him. And that's just putting We Left School for this really at this disadvantage. And Jester did a good job. He got his souls really quickly again, but then just instantly lost them by dying again. It's really not where they want to be. Coming into a double altar phase, they're a level behind. They don't have their 13. And Impenetrable Hill, they got that bottom tower. They're going to get this middle tower. They start.
Oh, wow. That was timed to perfection, but there's just not enough damage coming through. And I'll touch on a 1% play just a little bit later after this fight. Tanner now taking a lot of damage. Hill going deep on the Stitches. Blows the Putrid Bile to get away. And smart play there in the end from LG to disengage. The last thing you want to be doing is walking along a puddle of puke, especially when you got bugger all health. And now that will be the Diablo going down. Impenetrable Hill, they're extending this lead 12-7 in terms of kills. They've taken 2 towers away from We Left School for this as we go into the next altar phase. That is a lot of damage flying the way of We Left School for this, and they just keep getting themselves staggered out here. 1 kill here, 10 seconds past, another kill goes across, and this is what we're talking about. LG now just going to get away. Oh, the big hook coming out there from Hill says, nah, you're going to have another crack at you, and that will be a root. They finally get the kill onto him. And I was talking about a 1% play before. In that mid lane, we had Spazzo on the Alarak get shot over the wall by a concussion mine from Junkrat. The rest of Impenetrable Hill, as they lose Stitches, there's the towers in the bottom lane, just inting a little bit. As they got the concussion mine over and saw the Alarak take tower hits, the rest of Impenetrable Hill just went ham on the lower wall. Instead of the gate, instead of the tower, they opened it up and allowed their displaced Alarak to get back, which is what won them that fight. So well done there from Impenetrable Hill. It's those little things that will turn the tide of this fight.
Yeah, that most definitely. It's, really showing that premier experience that they have over We Left School for this. There's really quick rotation up onto this boss. They don't necessarily have the talent advantage, but those two levels, that's what 8% difference between them, and easily getting that boss, which is another 4 shots. And they're still, We Left School for this. They're going to get this mid fort, so they cap that tower back again. But they're just really on the back foot at the moment, really having to just respond to Impenetrable Hill's rotations.
They're timing it to perfection here as well, are the Impenetrable Hill lads. Yes, We Left School for this. We did a fantastic Void Prison into the Riptire combo, but there just wasn't enough damage. At the moment, it's Impenetrable Hill with the level lead as well as the kill lead. There's the Riptire going in this time. They take down Krazo, so well done. Being an extremely aggressive Sonya, Wrath of the Berserker was not enough to save him there as they hit level 16. Impenetrable Hill, once Sonya is back up, they'll be looking to engage, but I think We Left School for this just may be able to stretch this one out as we get into the next phase. They've lost their advantage in terms of rotations as you get to that replay all over your ocular nerves. We go back into the game now, and they trade them up. We Left School for this actually answer back, but with only 9 HP left on their core, those 2 towers are really going to cost them here. OG actually turns around and tries to drag. Meanwhile, Hill just misses the hook, which would have actually secured the kill there on LG.
Yeah, that was, he managed to split them right down the middle. We Left School for this doing a good job by getting that pressure and getting that as we go into a bit of a pause. They managed to get those 2 towers, the 2 altars. Hill got the bottom altar, so Impenetrable Hill still got that 4 shots over to the core, taking us down to 9 to 20 health. It's looking dire.
Quality just being an absolute savage to the team in chat at the moment. Impenetrable Hill, they've got 20 HP left on their core, 9 HP for We Left School for this. And like we were saying before, you wish it was those early forts that really did cost them. The cheeky boss as well was disastrous for We Left School for this. As the ready calls come across, we will get the unpause coming very, very shortly here. But at the moment, Impenetrable Hill are in the driver's seat. They've hit level 16. Meanwhile, We Left School for this are pretty close to it, but not as yet. This is where Impenetrable Hill, throwing out the hook was Hill. And should that have landed, I think that would have been a guaranteed kill, just for the sheer mathematics of the equation, you wish.
Yeah, they've for sure. We Left School for this. They come back a little bit, getting that team fight, that 1 kill on to Sonya. But Impenetrable Hill still in control of this game.
Sapper's now going across to Impenetrable Hill, their own ones this time, as opposed to getting the steal off. Great hook coming out there from Hill, who instead of fishing hook is staying true to that slam build, picking up pulverizing. Comes Spazzo, doesn't have the damage. Oh, the counter strike comes across, but it was the stay a while and listen that is gonna secure the kill. That'll be some souls. That's a lightning breath to Diablo, getting it done. Big Riptire collects 4, and that'll be it for Impenetrable Hill. They lose 3 members in the blink of an eye, and they have just allowed We Left School for this back in the game. And not only are they back in the game, they've taken the EXP lead as well.
Yeah, that was a fantastic team fight. Tanner got in that back. That Void Prism was absolutely beautiful. Spazzo, he overextended maybe a little bit on that Alarak. Thought he could get the kill onto Giza on that Junkrat. But they managed to punish him. They did a fantastic job getting those kills. And yeah, this is why I love Towers of Doom. They'll get 8 shots going on to their side. It's going to take them down to 12 to 9. That boss isn't up just yet. It's another 2 minutes before the boss comes up, but we've got a game on our hands.
Oh, absolutely. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Krazo and AT were trying to do what they could. They knew that they had absolutely no chance of winning the objective, so they tried to deal some damage onto the bottom tower, but there was not enough, and now We Left School for this. They're going to get a quick rotation off. Spazzo needs to be extremely cautious that he doesn't get taken down here on the Alarak. He is basically the only source of damage coming out from Impenetrable Hill, apart from, when Sonya is on point or Samura gets a cheeky illusion off. But it's all in the back of Hill's hooks at the moment, who, it must be said, is struggling to find his mark. Definitely no Tanner when it comes to the Stitches play, but the boss is still still quite far away. Well over a minute so far, but I really can't split them at this moment, you wish.
Yeah, We Left School for this. Like I said, they've got that little bit of XP lead.
Oh, Diablo. Diablo taking damage, but that's a Void Prism going to keep everybody alive. Krazo's going to get taken down by the Riptire. And that is, well, not good news for Impenetrable Hill. They also lose Stitches. They lose Alarak as well. And we left school for this. Keep their hopes alive. We could very well be going to a Game 3 if this keeps up here, you wish. Now the chase is on. Quality gets flipped by Whitemane, and that you would think will be GG. The Emerald Cube comes across as well, just lowering everybody's healing. And to tell you what, it's looking good for We Left School for this.
It's looking very good. This is what they needed to do. They needed to get these covered because they're doing a fantastic job with these team fights. Like Jester just pushing everyone around. He's devastating charges. He's doing a fantastic job of controlling this front line. And, you know, with that stagger death, it took him a little bit longer to kill Corrality, but they're giving that stagger death now as well, which doesn't put them in a great position. You know, we were talking about that boss. It's almost up now. We're back to 6 seconds. We've just got the one. They're going to cap that bottom 4 before they get this. So they're going to get 5 shots. It's going to put them ahead. This is Towers of Doom.
Yep. You not could have said it any better myself, man. This is definitely Towers of Doom. And AT up in the top lane nearly took one away from We Left School for this. When I say one, I mean it's only got sub 1000 HP remaining. And that just might have softened the blow a little bit, but this game is going to go right down to the wire. Level 20 has now been hit by We Left School for this. Junkrat looking disastrously dangerous with those with that cannonball at level 20. So he is going to be hitting like a freight train. Impenetrable Hill, they know what they need to do. They need to soak it up, and they need to push him down. AT is trying to do exactly that there on the Samuro, dealing lots of damage, and he's actually getting away with it here. He's now actually going to send an illusion up to the top. He does have Illusion Master, so we'll get the blink off should he need to, but alas, we'll go straight back into stealth, while the rest of Impenetrable Hill, they wrest that tower back away from We Left School for this. Just taking a page out of their opponent's book there. Remember, Impenetrable Hill did take 2 quick towers away from We Left School for this. They answer it back again. Hill just whiffs another hook.
Yeah, We Left School for this did a good job then saving that middle tower. I thought AT had done a fantastic job with his rotations from the bottom, from the top to the mid. We're going to see that improved lightning push Krazo out. Not going to get
nasty. That is so nasty.
That Riptire, can they finish off Stitches? And it will.
Oh my god,
AT also going to go down as well. We've got a double altar. They, you know, if they don't, all they have to do is get this 7. That's going to get 8 shots from these double altars.
That's going to be GG, I think.
It's, yep.
As the replay comes up on screen at the moment, the zone is going to be created. That is going to be game to We Left School for this. We are going to a Game 3.
Such a fantastic job. It looked a little bit, you know, it's starting to look a little bit dire from the side of We Left School for this, but those couple of, like, once they hit 16, those couple of team fights, they just really started to pull it ahead. They did a fantastic job. You know, who was playing the Diablo? It wasn't Tanner, it was someone else. Jester on the Diablo did a fantastic job, just constantly providing pressure. He constantly had his souls, just had so much health, and they just couldn't get through him. It's a fantastic job.
It was well done there by We Left School for this. It was looking pretty dire for them, but you know what? I wouldn't have it any other way. We have got 2 show matches tonight. Both of them are going to Game 3, and it's absolutely fantastic. So stay tuned, ladies and gents. We're going to take a very short break, and on the other side, we will have the final game of the night between Impenetrable Hill and We Left School for this.